AEAC is made possible by Air Venturi, Hawk Optics, Diana Airguns, FX Airguns, Daystate, Air Arms, Sports Match Rings UK, H&N Sport, Aztec Optics, and JSB Predator Pellets. And you guys know the best way to thank them. Alright guys, we're with Team Saber and DonnyFL, Izzy, Cebreros, and P.J. Clarke. Pro team shooters. We got a lot of product to move you through today. Some old, some new. We're going to cover 2 guns. I'm going to give the floor to these guys. If they slow down, I'm going to ask some questions and keep you moving. But PJ, let her rip, buddy.
We've got my speed gun here. It's an FX Impact Mark II. It's shooting 30 caliber at the moment. I have the tension barrel system up front. Also up top, the TRS rail, 20 MOA built in. It has a nut up here that allows for a little bit more rigidity of the barrel. And I know for some people, carbon fiber and that, but you really want that barrel not going anywhere.
Why
especially,
is that?
Well, the discipline where you're sometimes moving around, and especially just the normal stuff here at RMAC, where you go from station to station, there's the likelihood that that's going to get knocked, dinged, whatever. So to my mind, any little reinforcement that's just going to keep it true is a benefit.
I'm with you. All right, sorry.
The 20 MOA allows us to reach out a little bit longer. I'm shooting pellets out of this, not slugs, so you need to be able to have that room in your scope to reach out. I've got. And this is like collector's item. This is the Saber Tactical Pump Action.
Vintage.
Not a lot of these out there. Very proud to have it in my collection. But that's my edge, shooting fast.
So is that what all this control arm is?
Oh yeah, that control arm. So you've got a catch there, move it back, it cocks the gun, go forward, you're back in business.
And so that's just for speed?
Just for speed,
okay.
Just for speed. I need a little bit more of a rise on my cheek weld, so I've got a Saber Tactical cheek riser, and I will not shoot an FX gun without a Saber Tactical Adjustable Butt Pad.
Why is that?
The comfort, the ability to adjust back and forward, to keep it on the contour of your shoulder, so if you have to move to a different shooting position, you know, without it moving, the gun isn't perfectly rolling on your shoulder, and this just helps you keep in place, helps you keep your cheek weld, helps you keep on target. Out front, I've got kind of a prototype harmonic tuning moderator.
Okay. Is that
There's
coming?
Not a lot of those in existence.
Is that coming to DonnyFL?
Who knows?
Okay.
But we are pro class, and that means you get some special edges. That
yes, edges are
geniuses important. Like Izzy and Donny and John back at the shop can kind of work out, and we see how they work out.
Yep. Right. Izzy?
You need to go over to your gun,
Did he miss anything?
I don't think so. We got a couple of items we got to talk about, but
let's bring your gun in.
All right.
Really quick, while he's doing that. Good, buddy. Right. What power level are you shooting at?
I shoot somewhere in the middle 800s with the 44 grain pellet.
Okay.
That's what I shoot.
That's what he was wondering. All right, let's bring her in.
All right, let's bring this one in.
All right, Izzy, what are we looking at, brother?
All right, so this is the same gun I had last year. So it's my Impact X.
It doesn't look the same as the one.
It does not look the same at all. So there is a few changes from last year. The major changes is the TRS rail, as we already spoke of. 800 millimeter barrel on here as well. Okay. I'm shooting 37.5 grain slugs out of this at a 1,065 feet per second out of it.
Okay.
I do have some internal modifications, as I spoke with last year. You know, I did some things, so now I actually reworked it, opened it up a little more, so now I'm getting more velocity. I got a heavier hammer weight in there as well. Bigger bottle, 700cc bottle. Everyone's been going crazy at bottom. I went crazy.
Where do people get those?
I got mine off Amazon. You can get them from the Tuxing
that's not a Saber
website
product.
as well. Other than that,
Izzy, can you guys speak to the TRS rail?
Yeah.
Like, what's the feature benefit? What does it mean to these guys? Why is it important to have one? What does it do for you?
To me, it does quite a few things. So it stiffens up the barrel and supports it.
Okay.
Stiffening the barrel as it is. This is a tension barrel, so it's already pretty stiff as it is. But adding this additional back brace is what I'm going to call it. It supports it out front. I utilize 2 of them just because I have such a longer barrel. It's not needed. That's just my
Show us
option.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Okay.
Basically, what's in there, folks, is
It's a
2
C-shape.
clamps that hug your barrel and then tension in for tighten in from the outside. For the carbon fiber shrouds, there's actually a round collar like a sleeve, and then you get the hug.
Okay. What's this down here?
So this is our ARCA 2 rail. We've had this before already. It has a Picatinny down out front. Has the ARCA down here. It does have the M-lock on the sides. Another thing, speaking of M-lock, if you guys didn't notice, our TRS rails have M-locks on the side, and they are officially licensed by Magpul for us to use it.
Nice, I didn't realize that. That's
so
super
yeah,
cool.
that's what our little emblem here on the side is. That's a Magpul emblem.
If they don't know what ARCA is, what is that?
ARCA is the universal mounting dovetail. It's an oversized dovetail used proprietary to cameras or camera equipment. So if you want to use a big tripod to hold up your gun while you're shooting, you can easily
Like for hunting.
For hunting, exactly.
You can mount that to the bottom of this, and
down
you can
to
kind
the
of work off of,
And
off of that
you've
ARCA
got
rail.
all this real estate to move that forward and back, so you can find the best balance point for your style of shooting. Some people like it out front, so it sits a little bit more like a bipod would, and some people like to be back towards the balance point of the gun, which makes it a little more quicker to maneuver.
Okay. And then this is the trigger guard part of that?
Yes.
That Saber piece?
Yep. So that's that. What else
You're
do we
set
have?
up because you're set up with
Oh yes,
the monopod.
yes.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I do. So we've made a
This
couple
is a Saber product?
Saber product, and we've made a couple advances with it. There was an original version. This
Yep.
is the version 2. Izzy's got an original.
So I got the old version. That is the new version. The old version, as you can see up here, I have an insert up here. The old version does not have that. There's the insert's only down here. The new version, the insert is from here about 2/3 of the way up. So you get that additional support. On top of that, I had to put an insert here to fill in that gap. This one here is already filled for you, so you don't, it's a single piece all the way across. I'm running multiple pieces. So the new piece is updated. It holds everything together. One other thing
If they don't know is though, where does this go on the gun?
goes on the back. There's a
Okay.
slot.
Sorry, the one other thing you were saying?
Oh, so on mine, if you notice, it doesn't have the screws right here. This one, the new version, it does. We're having issues with this actually falling out from the base plate.
Oh, good.
So we listened, we got customer feedback, we fixed it. So now we got a version 2-ish, I guess. Bench monopod rail.
And so this is meant to replace, like if you're out here competing, like a bag setup.
Exactly.
And it gives you like macro and micro adjustments.
Macro, up and down, left and right adjustments. Super smooth. You know,
Actually, they squish elves into jelly, and that's what lubes this.
What feeds the elves? The jelly?
No, there's no more elves.
You just turn them into goo?
They turn into goo. Yeah, it's
Into Saber goo?
it's an ancient technique. It's unbelievable if you've never seen one of these. How smooth
I can
this moves.
see how smooth it's tracking.
It's
you.
crazy.
Another thing,
It
too.
looks like a magic trick when you're
Another
doing
thing too, a lot of people didn't realize there's a knob up here too. So if you're adjusting this up and down and that's too stiff for you, you know, is loosen it up a little more, and your adjustments
Oh,
is
it's a tensioner.
a little bit easier.
Nice touch.
The newer version of this has really been upgraded based on customer feedback,
Okay.
and there are some points that have been very much improved.
This is how smooth this thing is.
That's amazing.
It just glides down and stiffen it up a little more. It stays. There you can actually control how slow it goes.
Yeah, with that tensioner. So have we covered everything that's new
We've
at
got
Saber that you guys
two
want
more
them to know
things that we
about?
want to talk about.
All right, hit it.
Number one, we've got a new tank valve. So a couple of things that are, I would say, an improvement over just about every other tank valve that are out there. One is an oversized bleed valve knob. Makes it very easy to crack and let the pressure off. You also have an oversized pressure knob, which is really easy to turn.
Super smooth.
Super smooth, big, easy to read gauge. And I wish I had a hose with me, but here's the thing. You put your hose on here, right? It's got a built-in deadhead. So you want to check your tank pressure without having to spend another however many dollars on an extra gauge. You just put your hose from there to there,
loop it,
break the valve, you get an instant readout
really good
of
idea.
how much, and of course, it's actually a handle.
A handle, and it serves like a roll cage too.
Yeah,
If you drop it, it actually protects the top of the bottle. So that will take damage. That is easily replaceable.
So I don't have to carry my SCBA tank around by its yoke anymore.
Right, exactly, because you got a handle right on there. And people have been asking about this for a while. It is finally here and ready to go, the Saber Tactical tank bag.
Yep.
That is super slick.
We had this tested actually. They filled it with sand, they put it on a machine, they shook it all around to actually do like burst testing on it. It's very durable. You've got outside pockets, you've got a hard
lid
protecting your valve. You've got spots for your air hose to go out. You've got molly and Velcro on the other side, shoulder strap. I mean, like all the things you expect in a tank bag.
Super cool.
Very, very well thought out. I know it took a long time to get this to where it's, I think on the Utah Airguns has them now. We have them on the Saber Tactical website. You can order. This is something that's like right now ready to go.
I was just going to ask them, so there's so many products that come to mind that Saber makes that you see on pro shooters' guns. What comes to mind that they're not seeing here, that they should look into?
Most likely to me it would be the TRS reel.
Okay.
You know, it depends on what gun you have. We do have 2 different lengths to serve the purpose that you need it for. If you want to put a night vision setup out front on this is where that comes in hand. It plays with it really, really well with different scope setups. If you just want to run it short and compact and not have that additional real estate out front, it works amazing.
Don't you guys make chassis too for a bunch of guns?
We make chassis, the Crown and the Dreamline.
Crown and the Dreamline.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So you asked about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So this little guy
I'll take a picture of it so they can. I'll take
Goes-
pictures of it so they can see.
right into that spot right there. It's got a magnet on it, so for people who are shooting PRS,
Okay.
if you're worried about in transitions when you go from one stage to another and you have to go with your bolt open,
Yeah. It'll
that
hold
little
it open for
magnet
you.
holds your bolt
What's
open.
that called?
I don't know that it even has a name yet.
But is it going to be a Saber product?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just went into my hand 25 minutes ago.
That's super cool.
So
this
it's
is
like
fresh.
right from the machinist. So it's little things like that I think that make such a big difference, and the thoughtfulness of the little features that are engineered into a lot of the products that we put
100%.
out. And people ask, why is it, we see something like an RMAC, why does it take so long to get out? It's because we want it to be out right. Like a product actually gets developed and tested,
100%.
and then you got to figure out how to manufacture it.
It's like
decently and
Formula
get
One.
out.
It
Yeah,
gets
it's
developed
not-
on the racetrack, which is out here. So
Right.
speaking of the racetrack, I got to ask you, RMAC, what does that mean to you personally?
I really love the opportunity to get out here and just be in an environment where I'm talking to people who understand what I'm talking about when I talk about airguns.
Yeah, sure.
Because I live in a world where something new gets released and I walk out like to go to my day job and I look around and I'm like, none of these people know that was released today. Nobody knows that there's a new barrel tensioning system or a new rail. Like
Right.
none of these people know. And here, like you're amongst people who actually know what you're talking about, and they're just as excited as you are.
So
And that's
it's
so cool.
It's the people.
It's
if
the
I'm,
people.
If I'm reading between the lines.
It's the people.
You
It's
feel like
definitely-
you're amongst your tribe.
Right, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Awesome.
That's a good way to put it.
Izzy, RMAC, what's it mean to you, brother?
To me, it means an extended family. I work at DonnyFL, and we're a family all together. And there, outside of DonnyFL out here, it's like we're visiting outside relatives we hardly ever see and get to talk to and catch up and everything.
Absolutely.
See new products like PJ said.
New products?
New
You
products.
mean new products?
Yeah, new products.
See a new product? Do you
Yeah.
think they want to see a new product?
I think so.
Do you think they want to see a new
If
product?
you got time, I'm sure they do.
Oh yeah.
They're just sitting at home in their underwear, just
Yeah.
taking notes, just writing all this stuff down.
So let me
going
move this
anywhere.
out of the way. Thank you.
There is no air in this.
Okay, so it cannot fire.
There is no air in this. It cannot fire.
Good to know.
What is it?
Yeah. Are you shooting iguanas or carp with that?
So carp, whatever you need a fishing reel. That's a fishing reel right there. It's all wound up on wire.
See that.
Right? You pull the trigger, that goes off
Yeah.
to hit your fish
Yeah.
or whatever legal game you can shoot with a harpoon, and then you reel it in right here.
Yep.
So I have to ask, is this going to be an official Saber product?
We are
that,
super
that these
hopeful.
guys can get their hands on?
I'm told yes.
That's friggin' badass. Super, super cool.
I'm super excited. I want to try this out.
Yeah.
I'll bet you do. So guys, is there anything that I forgot to ask that you feel like is important that you want to share with those guys at home?
Not right now, Steve, but thank you for coming by and thanks for
I
giving us the
appreciate you,
opportunity.
both you guys.
Thank
Good
you.
luck this week.
Thank
Good
you, man.
shooting.
Appreciate it.
I know that
See you guys.
a lot of money on the line, and this is important to you. So thanks for taking the time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you. All right, we got to get this back to Thane.